there is just a lot of information that was not put out, which created a lot of speculation. There's also misinformation that was put out. Hey everyone, Empowering True Crime Alex here. So excited to get into this topic today. All right, so just wanted to quickly introduce myself before, just to kind of give you some preface as to, or context to why I want to talk about the Trinity Backus media misinformation. Okay, so I actually have been a publicist in over the last decade. I worked with large brands, small brands, public figures, all different types of people. I've also been a media trainer. I'm a branding and visibility communication strategist and expert. And so media coverage is very important to me, and particularly getting out facts. So I want to give out as much as possible. I want to help inform with facts, educate people on different issues, and advocate for the victims. Every once in a while, I'm going to add some entertainment in there as well. But I really want to be able to get information. So I'm never going to, I'll break news or put out breaking news, but I'm never going to be breaking the news, because I want to get as much information before I put anything out there. I try not to pass judgment until I have more information. Or come to conclusions. I like to put it out there and let you guys also make your own conclusions. And so there is just a lot of information that was not put out, which created a lot of speculation. There's also misinformation that was put out. And so I wanted to talk about a few of those things here today, okay? And there's definitely, part of empowering true crime is also learning lessons that, and I'll just say this right now, of course, it's a terrible tragedy. 16-year-old girl, I mean, I'm feeling just emotional right now. A 16-year-old girl died. Drugs is an epidemic. It's an issue, right? Why do people even feel the need to take drugs? To cope, to soothe, to hide their pain, or they're bored, whatever it is, why they feel the need to use drugs. And drug usage for children can affect their brains, right? Especially when they're growing. So it's important that this is something, I feel like this is something we're going to be talking about much more, but I just want to talk specifically about this case today. So a few things that do not sit well with me, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if we can do this. We go. So this was what was put out by the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. Okay, first off, let's just say that off the bat, respectfully, this is not a good photo, right? I mean, you can't even see her. You're not even seeing her. Maybe there was just like, okay, this is, you just need to put something out really quickly, but it's not a good photo, right? You can't even see her body. Anyway, so that was the first thing. The other thing is, so it says she was last seen wearing a maroon robe and pajama pants. And okay, fine. There was no context given. It's come out since then that she was on drugs. There's big controversy with that, of why they didn't notify anybody that she was on drugs. It might have created some more urgency in, it was very cold that night, apparently, creating some more urgency in finding her as soon as possible because she was on a trip, on an acid trip. Okay, so so not giving all proper information. I understand maybe she's a minor, but these are some things that have been brought up by people close to the family of why, would that have helped if they would have given more information about, more details about what was actually happening. Okay. The other thing is that, let's go back up here. When she was found, it says, oh, they never gave her last name. That was kind of weird. They just said her first name. Again, maybe because she's a minor. I don't know. But so, okay. This is the part that I just don't get. At this point, there is nothing suspicious and her cause of death is unknown. This is literally suspicious, right? I mean, her cause of death is suspicious. And so them saying there's nothing suspicious is suspicious. And our coroner's division will be conducting a full investigation, including an autopsy. So there's just a few things there, you know. To me, this sounds misleading. Maybe that they don't want people to jump on anybody, or which already was going to happen. So, you know, maybe they could have said something like they're still gathering information and her cause of death is unknown. I think that's fair to say if they don't actually know her cause of death. And, you know, so anyway, saying that there was nothing suspicious was suspicious. A few other things that have come out. It came out that she was with her aunt. And even there was an article in the New York Post that, let me see if I can find that actually. Let's see if we can find that. New York Post, Trinity Backus. Right. So here it says Ashley Bjorklund, 34, in an exclusive interview with the Post, said her niece had done acid with a friend who was staying the night. So apparently, Ashley is not her actual aunt, even though she's been called that. So media is putting out incorrect information. And she's not her actual aunt. She's a very, very good friend, like the best friend of the mother. On top of that, this lady, and I don't know her, and I know people, you know, there are people that I follow that know her personally, but she gave a lot of different accounts. Her story seems to change, right? Which is strange. But one other thing that was very interesting is that the father, who was interviewed by CCTV, she's one of the people that I follow, CCTV on YouTube. She's one of the people that I follow that knows both Ashley and the mother and the father, Brandon, called Brandon the biological father, but now it's coming out that he's not. There's some question about that. So there's just a lot of information. Oh, another thing that came out that is seemingly being contested is there are reports that the boyfriend of Trinity and another lady, Paisley, a young girl, 15-year-old Paisley Woodard, who died about a year ago, was supplying these girls with acid. But that seems to not be the case either. And people are jumping on him, the boyfriend. So there just seems to be a lot of misinformation. And I get it, like on YouTube, there's a lot of information coming out. But for example, I put out information referring to this lady as an aunt also based on other media accounts saying that she's an aunt, but that's not correct. So we have to be really careful. This is just an important message to say, okay, what are the learning lessons here? Okay, I don't ever want to speculate based on incorrect information. So it's important to put out correct information whenever possible. And everyone wants to do a scoop and everyone wants to be the breaking news. And yet facts do matter. Information does matter. Information does matter. And so it's important that we get as much information as possible before we start to speculate, pass judgment, or make conclusions. Let me see if there's anything else in my little notes here. I think those are the main ones for right now. Was there anything else, any other information or misinformation that you've been seeing on this case or other related cases that you think are important to talk about? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy this video. And if you really want to see more of the empowering side of true crime, ways that we can learn, that we can grow, that we can advocate for victims, have these learning lessons so that we can prevent more tragic accidents or other incidents from happening in the future. All right, everybody, appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you're notified anytime I post or go live. All right, have a wonderful one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you.